So here I am at probably the worst school in the country, whose alumni are nothing but arms dealers, serial killers, and corporate lawyers. Real scum. And that old creep thinks he can tame me? We shall see, my friend.
Canis Canem Edit is the more light-hearted take on the Rockstar formula. It may not be about killing hookers, knifing drug dealers, or, well, whatever Trevor does. Instead, it takes a closer look at schoolyard hijinks, go-kart racing, childish pranks, and of course, kissing the girls.
Will you hang out with me? You got some free time, baby? How are you, honey? Can I convince you to make out with me?
It's a more teenage-friendly game than Rockstar typically makes, depicting what life is like in the rough boarding school, Bullworth Academy. I have played this game before a long time ago on the Xbox 360, and back then I knew it as Bully. Canis Canem Edit, the new name after Rockstar changed it to try and get away from some of the game's controversy, translates roughly as Dog Eat Dog, and that's a pretty accurate title for what life at this school is like. You may not be dealing with murderers and gangsters, but even so, kids can be just as cruel. There's all of the usual groups to deal with. You've got the jocks, the dorks, the greasers, the rich kids. And caught in the middle of all these fighting factions is the tough Jimmy Hopkins. Sure, he himself is a bully and a money-hungry ladies' man who is always looking for his next fight, but at the same time it's clear that his heart's in the right place. He's willing to help out even the most uncool of students, just so long as they have the cash. Ultimately, his goal is to bring peace by gaining the respect of everyone, one group at a time. But to do this, he'll have to deal with and work with a whole host of cliché school characters, from other students.
Can you please talk normally?
This is my normal style of rapping, bro.
Alright, enough.
To inappropriate teachers. Unfortunately though, a lot of these characters aren't given enough time to develop. You only ever really find out the bare minimum about them, so none of them end up with much depth. You never have those long GTA car rides together, talking and learning more about each other. But instead, here, you often ride around on your skateboard or bike, alone, and unfortunately it's also not quite as fun a way of getting around as driving is.
Wow, you look a bit like my gardener at home.
Yeah, so what?
Yes, well, enough about gardeners or any domestic help.
The school itself brings some of the most life to the game, as you see it change and evolve over the course of the school year, from Halloween decorations to snowy Christmas. Walking around the corridors, you always bump into the same set of 60 or so students, going about their lives and heading from class to class. You start to recognise each and every one of your fellow students. And as soon as you're settled in at Bullworth Academy, the map opens up to let you explore the wider world and the town that surrounds you. This provides you with plenty of opportunity to get involved in extra activities, like racing and playing arcade games. But don't forget, you've still got your lessons to attend. Classes like art and chemistry, when passed, provide you with new weapons or skills, but the classes are only at certain times of the day, so you have to structure your day's plans between your education and your free time, trying to squeeze in the odd mission, say in your lunch break, to try and earn some extra money.
Friend in need is a friend indeed, friend.
Or, of course, you could skip altogether. But breaking one of the school rules like this is only going to catch the attention of the prefects, or eventually even the police.
Who won?
You.
Who?
Jimmy Hopkins.
Correct. That's right, ladies. Me.
You guys would have a hope in heck of winning.
You just bumped into me. You forget that I'm an expert.
Good work, team.
Missions in the game are all quite basic, quite simple, and to be honest, too easy. None of them really stand out as being overly crazy, leaving you sometimes feeling less than engaged with what's going on in the story. It lacks any real good twists and turns. The combat does hold up, starting small, but once you learn some new moves from the gym class and from the local homeless Korean War veteran, you soon start to have an arsenal of moves to play around with, complete with combos, grappling and takedowns. And throw in some child-friendly weapons like stink bombs and a potato gun, and you end up with loads of options of how you want to be a delinquent.
And boy, remember, you will have a clean nose, so keep it clean, or we'll clean it for you.
Arrange that, pal.
Funny pants.
The school setting may be a limited setting, but Rockstar managed to run with it and squeezed a lot of life out of it. I've been reading online that the PS4 version has a lot of frame rate issues, which would be pretty embarrassing considering that the game's over a decade old, but personally I didn't notice too many problems. The fairground had some dips in quality, but nothing that was game breaking. While it did have some innovative ideas and a fun setting, I don't quite think that Canis Canem Edit holds up quite as much today as some of the other Rockstar games that are also on the PS4. As always, thanks for watching. Bye.